All right, what's going on today, YouTube? Welcome back to your favorite cyclist YouTube channel. This week, we're talking about cyclocross. But before we get into today's video, if you're new to my channel, make sure you head down below, hit that subscribe button for me. If you already are subscribed, make sure you hit that bell icon right next to that. That way you get notified every time I upload. That way you don't miss any of this awesome cycling content on this channel. So like I said, today we're talking about cyclocross. So some of you may have heard of cyclocross before. Some of you may have never heard of it in your life. So, best way I can word cyclocross is it's off-road racing for road bike guys. Best way I can word that. Now some of you will say, oh, it's gravel. No, it is not gravel. Gravel racing and cyclocross are two totally different things. Cyclocross is in general kind of an all-surface style race. What a cyclocross was originally for was pretty much off-season training and racing for road bike guys. Pretty much when the weather was super wet and nasty and you didn't want to, and people didn't want to go ride their road bikes, they would go race cyclocross in muddy, wet, grassy conditions. And that's what they would do. They'd essentially put a more aggressive tire onto their road bike and race cyclocross. Pretty intense if you watch it. So essentially cyclocross is kind of a short track style race. You generally have a course of a loop, around a mile or so a loop, and pretty much you have a time limit to do as many laps as you can in that time period. So we'll go into some specifics here. So I had the chance to go out and race with the Reno Wheelmen. They did a cyclocross race, and they're doing cyclocross races this winter, so check them out. But I did a cyclocross race with them down at the Bowers Mansion Regional Park. And that's kind of one of the cool things, is cyclocross tends to be at just parks. And really, if you think about it, your regular parks have a lot of different conditions and terrain that you wouldn't really think of riding a bike on, such as grass, sand, pavement. It kind of has everything all in there. It has some hills built into it, trees to avoid. It's kind of an interesting thought that most people wouldn't ever think of racing a bike at at a local park. So pretty much at Bowers Mansion, they had it was like a little over a mile course. And before you get there, the people putting on the race organizers, are going to lay out the course. In this case, they use some stakes and some caution tape to kind of lay out the course. And there's lots of twists and turns and tight corners and all sorts of stuff in that course. Kind of everything, like I said. It really tests your bike handling is what one of the biggest things is. And one of the cool things is you don't have to show up on any particular bike. It's kind of open to whatever bike you want to ride. So, in the case of that race, I raced on the good old Trek Superfly. I raced cyclocross on Hawaii in that, just for fun. It's just a fun thing to get into. There's people racing this on cross-country mountain bikes. There's people racing on trail bikes. There's people racing it on the road bikes, just a little bit fatter and more aggressive of a tire. The next race we're going to do, we're going to race on the Poseidon X behind me. We're going to give this guy a shot because it's kind of more along the lines of what a cyclocross bike is. So, of course, all conditions here, tons of people. I raced in the C class, which is like the beginner class, because I am not serious about cyclocross at all. And that's one of my favorite things about cyclocross is there are people that take it super seriously, but then there are people there to literally have fun and to take hand-ups and to just have fun. And that's ultimately why I was there. I was there to just have fun. I'm there, it's kind of a fun racing experience for me. So, while there are people taking it seriously and kind of smoke me and lap me around the course, I had tons of fun, even with that being the case. It's a tough, kind of all-out race. So for the C class, we had 30 minutes to run as many laps as we could. Pretty cool. I think I got 4, which was not bad for about a mile lap each. So I got four laps in there. Then you had the B class raced after us. They were the slightly faster guys, a little bit more than just the beginners, kind of your intermediate class. Those guys raced for 45 minutes. And then you had the expert class, or the A class after that. Those guys raced for a full hour, which is nuts. Those guys were insane. We stayed around and watched them race about half of theirs, and it was, whoo, they were going fast. That's for sure. I was impressed by how fast they were riding around that track. So again, it's kind of for all experience levels. So if you want to sign up for a cyclocross race, what do? So you can try and look around for a local cyclocross race. It's kind of the tough thing to do. A lot of times you're going to want to find either like your local road cycling group. So Reno Wheelmen does a lot of road races around here. So that's kind of why I started following them, was kind of watching the road races, and they are the ones who put on the cyclocross. Like I said, cyclocross a lot of times is kind of that off-season training for road bike guys, kind of their off-season races. So that's where it's going to be some of the times. Other times there's full big organizations. I know just over the mountain, like in Sacramento area, cyclocross is huge over in Sacramento and Folsom. And they have big organizations putting on these cyclocross races for most of the winter. It's pretty insane. So it just depends where you live. Here in Reno, they're pretty much doing 5 races. Nothing crazy, just kind of a basic thing, just to kind of get back into the rhythm of doing cyclocross. So pretty much you have to find your race. That's kind of the biggest thing with cyclocross. You have to see if it's something in your area. Once you find your race, you're kind of like, okay, well, what do I need to bring? Like, do I bring, what bike do I bring? What do I do? So you can race cyclocross on, again, pretty much any bike you want to race on, you can race on. I do recommend putting at least a little bit of a more aggressive tire on there because you're riding in those different kind of conditions. A lot of times it's going to be wet because you're doing it in the winter time. Rain, snow, kind of stuff like that. It's going to be wet. There's possible muddy conditions there. You're going to want something with a little bit more aggressive a tire than just a full-on slick tire. Now that could be, anything from kind of a gravel bike. That can be a purpose-built cyclocross bike. That could be a mountain bike. It can be kind of whatever you want it to be. You can ride that bike around there. I've seen people doing it on fat bikes before. Kind of crazy, but I've seen people doing it on fat bikes. So you honestly can bring anything you want. Now, for prepping for this, there's honestly not really any prep for this. You show up, you are going to want to do at least a practice lap around there, just to kind of get your bearings on how everything feels and where the course is even going. Like I said, there's lots of twists and turns in the course on a cyclocross race. And so you really got to pay attention to where the course is going to make sure you're following the course where it should be. Kind of the biggest thing. It's easy to get lost if you haven't done the course yet. So I recommend getting there a little bit early. That way you can pre-ride the course once before your race actually starts. Then when it's time for your race to start, you're pretty much going to line up. Some people will bring a water bottle with them. Awesome. I normally run 1 water bottle when I go to cyclocross. I take off everything else except for 1 water bottle cage, and I'll tell you why in just a moment. So I run 1 water bottle. That's all you really need. You're going for anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour, and 1 water bottle is all you need. Again, you're going laps around most of my park. You need another one. It's easy to have It's easy to have your buddy or your wife or whoever have another water bottle ready that they can pass up to you and you can swap out water bottles. Not a big deal. You're not really going far from where your base camp is, where your car is parked. So very easy just to run 1 single water bottle. Honestly, you don't need anything else besides that. Like I said, you're around your base camp realistically. So something goes wrong, it's not like you're that far from where you can fix it. You know what I mean? It's not like you're riding 20 miles out and need all your tools and your CO2 and all that kind of stuff. Easy to get all of that right where you are located. Now, I did mention when I ride cyclocross, I run only 1 water bottle cage. That's all I run. I don't have any, I take off bags and all that kind of stuff. Don't need them. And the big thing is, because cyclocross is both as much of an on-bike race as it is an off-bike race. Cyclocross has a lot of times barriers that you're going to have to jump over. It's pretty much big pieces of like 2x6s that they lay across like this upright that, yeah, you can bunny hop it if you really feel confident in bunny hopping it. But a lot of times, most people are going to get off their bike, run, and kind of lift their bike up and over and jump over the barriers. Kind of the way things go. If you watch a cyclocross race, you will definitely see people doing that. So with that being the case, I kind of keep the inside triangle as free and clear as possible. That way I can get it kind of up on my arm, up on the shoulder to kind of jump over the barriers. Helps kind of keep everything nice and free, nice and, you're not dropping stuff, knocking stuff, having trouble picking your bike up. Pretty easy to do that. Now, with that running part, you're probably like, oh, well, that means people are running flat pedals. No, most people are still running clipless pedals. Most are running kind of a mountain bike style, Crank Brothers, Shimano, something like that, more of a mountain bike style cleat. That way you can run on that kind of dirt or rocky surface or grass surface and still have traction, but then still be able to clip in and get that power when you go on. So ultimately, cyclocross is kind of a fun experience. That's kind of the biggest way I can put that. Like I said, there's people that take it super serious, and then there's people that have fun. And I would say the people that have fun are much more, there's a lot more people that are just there to have fun and, yeah, have fun. So go out to cyclocross. If you've never tried cyclocross out, you're going to want to. Like I said, if you're in the Reno area, the Reno Wheelmen are putting on a few more races this season, about 3 more races. If you guys are interested, I'm going to have a link in the description down below so you can join one of those. This year, they are offering, if it's your first time ever racing cyclocross, your first race is free. Kind of hard to beat that. That is a smoking deal. If you haven't done it and you're in Reno, check them out. Come out to one of the races. Maybe you'll see me out there having some fun. If you guys enjoyed the video or maybe learned something today, learned about cyclocross, give this video a big thumbs up. Appreciate the support. Any comments or questions, let me know down in the comment section below. Love talking to you guys. Love answering questions you guys have. and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching today.